Okay, so at this point, I'm thinking the blood is in the water. The sharks are out. They smell blood. They want a peace. I think I'm the only person right now who does not have a lawsuit out against P. Diddy, Puffy, Sean Puffy Combs, whatever you want to call him, Brother Love. I think I'm the only person who doesn't have a lawsuit out against him, accusing him of, you know, beating me down and having me engage in all the illicit things that he's been accused of. We're going to get into this. The big question of the day is Diddy getting charged? See, it's one thing for everybody to want to sue you and get money, but now they're talking about him actually getting charged. A legal expert said yesterday they believe that at the end of this, Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy, will be sitting where R. Kelly is sitting. Not necessarily in the same jail cell or prison as R. Kelly, but behind bars in somebody's prison. That would be sad as hell. But, I mean sad as in sad to see the downfall of somebody who was held to such high standards and who did accomplish a lot of greatness. Hearing me say he accomplished a lot of greatness, but listening to people who've been around him all these years, telling how he accomplished a lot of greatness, it was like it was snatching people's souls in order to fuel his fire to accomplish his greatness. I don't know how true that is. I wasn't there. All I can do is go off of what is being told today. And right now, as we speak, this is a former associate's details alleged history of abuse in another new report. I just did a story this morning about the second white woman, a model who has her own lawsuit going against P. Diddy where she accuses him of drugging her, taking her to a bathroom, forcing her to do certain things as she was passing out, putting her back in the party. She said by the time she woke up, she was in the back of a taxi. This was back in the day. We didn't have Uber and Lyft. This was back in the day we had yellow cabs and whatever else. She was back in the back of a taxi heading to a certain address of the individual, a designer who had designed an outfit for her and dressed her and delivered her to Diddy. Second white woman. And I just put that up yesterday. And here comes today, more former associates are speaking up and speaking out. Before I go into this detail that's printed right here, let me say this. I just saw breaking news. They are now revealing the contents that were taken from the raid that just happened when they raided P. Diddy's mansions the other day. The coordinated raids that actually even included Homeland Security. It is said that there is a video footage of a male sex worker, a man, being abused in that manner by Diddy. And the feds are now reaching out to more people who were seen in these videos to see if they can get them to come forward. Holy smokes, Batman. Sean Diddy Combs has a history of violent and dangerous behavior towards women and his employees at Bad Boy Entertainment. And this is according to a new report from Rolling Stone. The music mogul has yet to be charged for any of the alleged crimes, but unnamed sources tell Rolling Stone and CNN that New York and federal investigators are closing in on Diddy Combs. Following the 8 civil lawsuits that were filed against him since November and the Homeland Security investigation raid on his homes in Los Angeles and in Miami in March, Combs has denied all accusations against him, although he has since apologized to his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura after a surveillance video that was obtained in CNN by CNN earlier this month depicted him physically assaulting her at a hotel in 2016. The video where we saw Cassie running down the hallway trying to escape, and he comes running down the hallway behind her wrapped in a towel, and we found out the whole story was they got into an argument and a fight, and he had punched her in her eye, and he blacked out, went to sleep, and she thought this was a good time to escape. And as she was trying to make her escape, boom, he woke up and he came chasing her. I want y'all to know that there was another side to that story, and Cassie told it herself in the paperwork that was submitted to the courts. And I'll fill you in. It says, after we saw that piece in the video where he dragged her back to the hotel room, he was super drunk. He was on drugs and whatever else he was on. He passed out again. And when he fell asleep, she left this time. And this time, the second time, was not shown on video when she left, but she got away. But here's the crazy part. She got away, she left, she went back to her own place, her own apartment, and then she cleaned up herself and she was chilling for a minute. And she took a cab or a limousine and went back over to the hotel where she left him at after he had just done what he did that we saw on video. She was met downstairs at the hotel by hotel staff who said, "Hey, Miss Ventura, we saw what happened on video with you and Mr. Combs upstairs. Our advice to you is, please do not go upstairs. Take that limo or that car that you came in and go back to where you're coming from." She went back over there at her own reconnaissance, on her own accord. But back to this. Sources told CNN in a report that was published on Wednesday, which Wednesday is today, the 29th of the 5th, that possible witnesses have been notified and that they could be called to testify against Puffy or Diddy or P. Diddy or Combs in front of a federal grand jury in New York City. Oh shit. Rolling Stone similarly reported on Tuesday that the Southern District of New York has interviewed potential witnesses for a sex trafficking and racketeering claims, as well as Combs' alleged connection to the Black Mafia family cartel. Whoa. This is getting super serious. The Black Mafia family cartel? That's BMF? You talking about Big Meech and them? Several former Bad Boy music label employees and sources alleged in Rolling Stone's report that Puffy or Diddy has a violent past that dates back before he even rose to fame. Also, they all corroborated claims of sexual assault and abuse in lawsuits that were filed by Cassie, Joy Dickerson Neal, among others, and Crystal McKinney. Now, in a statement to Rolling Stone, Combs' attorney, Jonathan Davis, said that Mr. Combs cannot comment on settled litigations and will not comment on pending litigations either, and cannot address every allegation that is picked up by the press from any source, no matter how unreliable. We are aware that the proper authorities are conducting a thorough investigation and therefore have confidence that any important issues will be addressed in the proper forum where the rules distinguish facts from fiction. Let's just say this. His apology video that he put out the other day, that Diddy put out the other day, a lot of people were enraged. They said that apology is bullshit. The apology is bullshit because he did not apologize to the one person who he was seen on video victimizing in the video, which was Cassie. We learned later on that Puffy is barred from even mentioning Cassie's name anywhere. He cannot speak about her in public. He cannot mention her name in any videos. And she herself cannot directly speak on that situation with him. If you notice, Cassie said something later on after her husband said something, but what she said was vague. It was not specific. Now we're learning that he couldn't possibly have said her name because it wasn't legal for him to do so, and that was a part of the settlement between his party and her party that was settled behind the scenes. This is nothing nice that's about to happen to him. A federal indictment before a grand jury? Oh my God. A Howard student has stepped forward now to say that Diddy allegedly physically abused and harassed ex-girlfriend. Sean Puffy Combs, Diddy, Puffy, Puff Daddy, Brother Love, whatever you want to call him, he attended Howard University, and that's well known. Where sources told Rolling Stone that he was known on campus for throwing lavish parties and for establishing the beginning of alleged violent behaviors. One former student told the outlet that he would often disrupt his then girlfriend's English class to get her to ditch the class. She would tense up every time he appeared. The student who sat next to the girlfriend said he was just weird. He had this weird controlling thing about him. And I felt like she was just fearful of him. In newly revealed allegations, now listen, they going all the damn way back to this man's college days and talking about his girlfriend in college and how she was scared of him and how he would disrupt her class just to get her to be able to ditch the class. In newly revealed allegations, the student and another anonymous Howard alum alleged that they also witnessed Puffy's physically attack his back then girlfriend. He screamed and he hollered and he acted a stone fool until she came downstairs, one alleged witness said, adding that then he appeared to strike her all over the place with what looked like a belt. He was beating her with a belt. Combs whooped her butt. Like really whooped her butt. Man, listen, I'm reading this to y'all. So please don't think I'm adding anything to what was said. I'm giving it to you as my audience, straight, no chaser. Then they added and said she was trying to defend herself just a little bit. She was crying. And we were telling him, like, get off of her. We were screaming for her. A third student told the outlet that none of this was really a surprise to me. You're already an abuser in college. You were already feeling like you had to have certain power over people, and they remember him from being just like that. The girlfriend involved in the alleged attack was contacted by media but declined to comment anything. This is crazy. Now, in the first time allegation, a woman under the pseudonym Anna told Rolling Stone that Combs attempted to have sex with her at a party in 2001 after he was acquitted on weapons charges which was stemming from a shooting scuffle at a now defunct nightclub in New York Square in December of 1999. I'm guessing this is where Jennifer Lopez was, and this is where Shine took the fall for that back around in that time. So Diddy allegedly threw a party in celebration of the verdict when Anna, a freelance graphic designer working with Bad Boy's marketing team, she was approached by Diddy, allegedly. So I'm getting touched on my shoulder, right? My arms, my back. He's like, oh, yeah, you like that? You like that? I know you like that. Like, really? Really gross, she said. I was like, no, not so much. And I sort of floated my way up out of there. Anna says that she discovered weeks later from her boss's girlfriend that Combs allegedly requested her boss solicit me for sex with him on behalf of the music mogul. So in other words, told the boss, get me that girl. I want her. And the boss came back and told her, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, this is how you ended up there. He specifically told me that he wanted you for sexual favors. I felt quite unsettled about this for many years. When people ask me about my days at Bad Boy, it's just overshadowed by this crap, she said. Bad Boy co-founder and former president Kirk Burroughs, who was fired in 1997, and another ex-employee claimed that they witnessed Combs attack a woman in the office in 1994, and they had to tear him off of her. Felicia Newsom, former manager of Bad Boy's recording studio, Daddy's House, added that she also had to hold Combs by his waist as he was about to beat this girl amid a fight between two women. Daddy's House is where a 17-year-old Jane Doe has allegedly put out her alleged that she was gang raped by Diddy and former Bad Boy entertainer executive Harvey Pierre in 2003. There's a lot of wild stuff that went down at Daddy's House. Daddy's House. Wow. Kind of creepy, man. Kind of remember, like, you know when R. Kelly had them calling him Daddy? Yeah. And then Puffy named his his studio Daddy's House. And then to find out that all this stuff was going on at Daddy's House. Jesus Christ. Now, as the success of Bad Boy grew after the murder of the Notorious Big in 1997, some of the employees claimed that Diddy became an overbearing boss, and people needed to learn how to speak Puffy in order to remain employed. No one on his team at Bad Boy spoke back to him. No one. What he wanted, he got. You know what's funny? There's a video out of him actually screaming and throwing the phones and thrashing an office, throwing shit around, and Puffy is saying, "Oh, I'm a beast. I'm an animal. I get what the fuck I want. I get what I want." And me watching that video, I thought to myself, damn. Like, damn. So it makes sense that now all these ex-employees are stepping up. They said back then you had to learn to speak Diddy, and nobody on his team ever said no to him for nothing. And you had to do that to remain employed. Newsom said no one challenged him on anything. Another source said he was so volatile, man. He's always on the edge of snapping and being scary. People did whatever he said to stay in his good graces. And Puffy exploited people's desires to be in that environment where he was. You see, there's a lot of people, right, that had that desire to be in that world. And this is what I said before. It wasn't me blaming the victim. It was me saying that these people purposely traded their freedom, their dignity, and everything else to be a part of that world. They wanted private jets. They wanted rides in limousines. They wanted these big parties where all the celebrities were going to the puffy parties so they could rub elbows and they could hobnob and, what do you call it now? Move around the movers and shakers in the industry. Actress and model Kim Porter, who died from pneumonia in November of 2018, she dated Combs on and off from 1994 to 2007. They shared 3 children. Her son, Christian, 26 years old, twin daughters, Delia Starr and Jesse James, 16. They also raised 32-year-old Quincy Brown, Porter's son, with singer and record producer Al B. Shore. And Puffy raised Quincy as his own as well. Quincy is very much attached to Puffy and very much attached to his younger brother, Christian. And even Al B. Shore recently put out, I heard a voice note, and it says, "Daddy loves you, son, and it's safe over here. Come on home." In other words, Al B. Shore seems to be watching this ship sink from a distance, knowing that his son is on it. Even though his son is now 32 years old, he's still his son. He's like, I don't want my son going down with that sinking ship. I believe Christian has rape allegations against him as well. And it is said, quiet as kept, he moves like his daddy does. So you will hear about him later. I'm sure Al B. Shore is like, oh my God, I don't want my son going down with this. 2 sources claim that the music mogul physically abused her, with former Bad Boy rapper Mark Curry. Mark Curry, remember Mark Curry? Mark Curry adding, I remember Kim used to go through a lot of stuff. If you live around them, you get to see the toxic relationship. I think every relationship he had that I experienced around him was just like that. Porter briefly dated late music executive Shakir Stewart in 2000, which his mother said led to an assault on her son. He got beat up for dating Kim Porter and left Shakir bleeding on a hotel floor in Italy. Stewart's mother, Porter, said he had to have stitches, and then Diddy, Combs, Puffy, threatened him and told him, I'm going to kill you. In other words, stay the fuck away from Kim, because that's mine. Kind of like the same situation where he was on and off with Cassie, right? And then Kid Cudi kind of got in there and Musa was cutting a little bit because she was feeling him, he was feeling her kind of thing. And then boom, he threatened Kid Cudi allegedly and said, I'm going to blow your effing car up. And then Kid Cudi testified later that my car did get blown up. She then said, that's when I said, listen, you need to get out of this business. She told her son, leave Kim Porter alone. Get out of this business. This man is crazy. You got tracked all the way to Italy, got your ass bust, and got left bleeding on a hotel floor in Italy with a message from Diddy that says, I'm going to kill you. Burroughs theorized Combs' childhood abandonment, including the murder of his father, contributed to his former co-founder's vicious cycle. And the woman catch it the worst, he said. Jesus Christ. Hey man, listen. I have a feeling this is only the beginning. Remember y'all, They are just now starting to leak piece by piece of information, of video footages, stuff that was found in Puffy's mansions when it was raided. To be fair, I'm going to say this. I bet you if he has anybody prominent of power on video doing anything illegal, I bet money they won't leak those. But they will go through every freaking piece of footage and they will selectively leak pieces timed to the public, because this is the Take Puffy Down show. If you asked me a couple of weeks ago if I think that this is the end of Diddy, I would have said, nah, I think he's going to bounce back from this. If you ask me today if I think this is the end of him, absolutely. He ain't coming back from this. And I said it before and I say it again. The only way he can come back from this is if he takes the church route. If he pulls a Jimmy Swaggart. If he pulls one of those prominent preachers who got caught doing wrong, prostitution, buying, whatever, and they came and they cried in front of the congregation, I have sinned. Oh God, I have sinned. Please forgive me. If it ain't that, Puffy ain't coming back in the music business like that no more. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Let's keep this conversation going. I think this is the beginning and we're about to see a whole lot more unfold. Shout out to Cat Williams, man. Because on that Shay Shay interview, Cat Williams sure as hell did set the precedence. It's as if he knows something that we on the outside didn't know. But he put us on to game and we see now. I'll catch you on the next video. I'm out. Peace. Hit that subscribe button.